Welcome back as the Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Joining me on today's edition of the show is a man, of course, you know so well on the show. His name is Kingsley Woke. Good morning to you, Woke, and welcome to Sports Talk.
Yeah, good morning, Kingsley.
All right, let's start the show with basketball this morning as Nigerian senior male basketball team, the Tigers, yesterday in China defeated USA national basketball team 75-70 in the ongoing autumn tournament holding in China. It will be recalled that the Tigers had defeated USA national team in preparatory game prior to the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. And it is a feat never achieved by any African country in the history of a game. And the invitational tournament, which started September 30th and will end on October 20th, is being played at different cities in China. The Nigerian basketball team will be moving to another city today in continuation of 8 games in the tournament. Okay, what do you make of this particular encounter? This is a very impressive result coming from the D Tigers, especially when it has to do with the big name, the United States of America, when it comes to basketball.
Yes, they have one of the biggest leagues in the world, and anytime maybe a country beats the US is always a very big news. I think this is not the first time. It seems that we always get one over them doing maybe invitational tournaments or preparatory tournaments. Like you said, before the 2020 Olympics, we defeated them in that preparatory game. And when the main event started, we were not able to replicate that. Even also doing in this tournament in China, I think they have done very, very well. Some people might say, okay, the US, they have a way of changing teams. They can even they have a team because they have so many players, quality players, so they can choose to invite different kind of players to tournaments. But that is not an excuse. I think it was a very good victory for the D Tigers in that tournament. I think beating the US will even give them motivation to beat other big teams that will be coming to that tournament.
Interesting one for Nigerian Tigers, and we hope with this impressive form, for a team to beat the United States of America, it means a whole lot. It shows you that there is huge, of basketball, in that country. And this is not the first time the D Tigers defeated the United States of America. I think this is the second time. So I think Nigeria have the talent when it comes to basketball. We hope that the Nigerian Basketball Federation will be able to, of course, continue on this impressive form. Talking about Musa Kida, I think the man is, stepping up his game. And we hear that the Nigerian Basketball League, of course, will soon kickstart. And from what we're seeing at this point in time, I think basketball is coming back, to normalcy down here in Nigeria.
After football, I think one of the closest sports that generates both attention, both revenue, both so many controversy, because when you are big in this country, you tend to generate controversy and all those things and chaos and all. Basketball is a sport that is popular in the country, and we have seen the fight down the years, two factions, because they know what's at stake, what they will gain from that federation. So they have been fighting, but it's still good that they have been able. I don't know whether they have resolved anything completely, but I think it's having the league, football league, the basketball league. I think that's the best thing to do. So many talents in the country. Go to the north, we have so many talents. The south, so many talents in basketball. So we need the league to bring these talents together and see whether we can produce more talents. Even though we are not using the foreign-based players, we have people, yes, around that can even do the job better than the foreign lads anytime they are being called up for national duty. So for me, I'm very happy hearing I don't know, I'm calling it football league. The basketball league is going to start. So it's a very good thing that will happen when it starts.
Interesting one. Let's talk cricket on the show this morning. As head coach of Nigeria's male cricket team and high performance manager of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Steve Tikolo, has urged the Yellow Greens to build on their momentum and the ongoing West African Trophy tournament following their opening day win against Rwanda yesterday. Nigeria also for the first edition of the series at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval. Lagos and Tikolo Men's had the honor of facing the East African invitees in the opening game. The Yellow Greens returned to action for the first time in almost a year on the winning note in the first game of the series by defeating Rwanda by 54 runs. Regardless of the win, Tikolo said the team still had work to do, especially with their batting. Nigeria will hope to make it 2 wins on the bounce when they face Sierra Leone in their second game today. Rwanda and Ghana face off the second game of for the day. What do you make of this one? First off, beating Rwanda, and that's good volume for the Nigerian cricket team.
Yes, I think we have been having some good runs and also some commendable results from the cricket teams, both even the junior levels and all that, on the age levels, they have really been doing well when they go for tournaments. And for me, it's good. They are winning their games, and for me, it's good. We know that cricket is not really so that big in the country, but they always try to put up a very good performance anytime they are there participating in tournaments and all that. So it's good. They have started the tournament very, very well, and they just have to continue. I know along the line they will still meet stronger teams we know very well and can do very well in cricket in Africa. We know them, and I just wish them luck. I wish them luck. They just have to find a way to always improve their performance. That's the way to go far in tournaments. You have to improve your tournaments every match day.
Interesting one, and we hope, of course, they will be able to continue this impressive, performance we've seen so far when it comes to, this particular cricket tournament. Let's stay away from cricket this morning as we take a look at other matters revolving around the water sport. This time, let's talk tennis as Britain and Murray suffered another early exit in the Chinese court swing after losing to Roman Safin in the Shanghai Masters first finalist Safin. The Russian secured early breaking set with 36-year-old Murray becoming increasingly frustrated. It is Murray's second consecutive first-round defeat after losing at the China Open last week. Now, Murray, who is ranked 40th in the world, lost to Australia's Alex de Minaur in Beijing, and in the previous week was knocked out in the second round of the Suhail Championship by Russia's Alex Aslan Karasev. What do you make of this defeat? First-round defeat for Andy Murray. This is the second first-round defeat the man is suffering this year.
Yes, we know Andy Murray. I think I don't know what I would say. It's no more in him, and maybe tennis because of so much injuries and other things. I think he came back. He came back very strong this year. I think doing some Grand Slam tournaments. Maybe we thought that maybe the injury years are over. Yes, I think he's playing now, playing more consistently, like start next year again. But we know some tours are still on, and I don't know.
But for me, I think Andy Murray usually done well for himself this year. I think there was a time I think he was ranked, out of 100.
Yeah, yes, he was out of the
100, players, the top ranking when it comes to the 100 rankings, when it comes to players ranking. But the man has been able to, put up some impressive performance, and now he's been ranked 40th, in the world. And I think, yes, the fact that he's still pushing, maybe he might probably gain back his mojo. But is it possible for him to gain back his mojo? I think he's at about 36 years now. And judging from taking a look at the hip surgery he had, is it really very, very possible for we to see, Andy Murray, yes, coming back again?
I'm not really that sure. I don't think we will really see him again. I don't even think he might be able to win another Grand Slam. I think down the years he's suffered from so much injuries, and anytime he recovers, he has another setback and all that. I think this year he's been consistent. Maybe what will help him is maybe by next year, if he can be able to be consistent, I think he might go far in tournaments. He might go far in maybe in Grand Slam tournaments, and also maybe in the ATP. So he just have to keep going, keep playing, win games, and maybe get back to the top 20. I think if he can be able to get back to the top 20, I think that would be a very big achievement for him, because in the last 2 years, he was outside top 100. So for him to be in the top 40, that means he has worked so hard and to be there. So he just have to keep on playing, try to get fit, try to get more sharper. I know he's sharp now, but try to get more sharper and be in that competition level so he can compete at any given time. So it's not doing really bad, but just that based on what he has done down the years, people always expect him to go far in tournaments. Maybe that's why it's news that he lost in the first round.
All right, away from Andy Murray, in Beijing, Italy Jannik Sinner won the ATP title at the China Open by ending his losing run against Russia Daniel Medvedev. World number 3 Medvedev had won all 6 of the previous matches, but 32-year-old Sinner, who beat Spain Carlos Alcaraz in the semi-final this week, ended the streak with a 7-6, 7-6 victory in that particular encounter. Sinner will rise to a career high of 4th in the world after securing his 10th title for the season. Okay, what do you make of this impressive run for Jannik Sinner, winning the ATP title down there in China, taking down Daniel Medvedev and ending, of course, his losing streak, to Medvedev as it is. Don't forget, before the final, Holy also had Carlos Alcaraz. What do you make of this, impressive feat for the man Jannik Sinner?
Yes, good one for him. I think some players are always good with these ATP tours, and they tend to even do better than even the normal Grand Slam. I think it's good because it's not like he played small minors, or maybe he was able to defeat
Alcaraz.
And then Daniel Medvedev, we saw what Daniel Medvedev did in the US Open, even though he lost in the finals, but we saw the performance, and these players are great players, but he was able to defeat these players. So it's good he's ending the year on a very good run. Just that he has to replicate these runs by next year. Yes, you just have to do it in the big stage. You need to show these guys that, okay, I can beat you in the ATP tours. I can also beat you in Grand Slams. So that's what he needs to do. I think he's a very fantastic tennis player. I've watched him, and he's somebody that can win titles if he's very serious, and if he always bring his A game every match day. So I think he's a good player, and he needs to do more if he wants maybe to be the world number 1 in the future. After that, he might be okay. They said he will be in the world number 4 if he wins this tournament, or even if he doesn't win. So for me, he should keep pushing, and maybe he will get there.
Let's talk about Carlos Alcaraz. What do you make of him? Since he lost out, in the US Open, the man has not really been in the best of form. Just take a look at the fact that, yes, Jannik Sinner actually hosted him out, in this competition down there in China. We talked about, Alcaraz, to be the next big thing, in tennis. But when you take a look at what was seen after that US Open, the loss might, actually affected him psychologically, because we've not really seen the best, after that US Open.
Yes, yes, you're right. I think that loss kind of has affected him, because, before that tournament, the US Open, he was the defending champion. He now lost the semi-finals to Daniel Medvedev. And for me, I think he thinks that the season is over for him. He's just playing those tournaments to just maybe keep fit. And for me, he thinks that he has done all the hard work this year in tennis, and he needs to use these tournaments to just relax himself and not give so much, because if you give so much, you might get injured and all that. So I think he's not giving his best. He's not giving his best, and I think he's directly preparing for next year, because I think nothing much to contest this season again.
All right, let's talk Medvedev. The man, he was in the final of the U.S. Open, but since then, we expect more, of course, for Medvedev. I think this inconsistency, from this young gen, if they're still young gen anymore, we shouldn't be saying it. I know at this point in time, we should see dominance, consistency. When it comes to this players, likes of Medvedev, Alexander Zverev, Tsitsipas. But so far, we've not really seen this level of consistency, we expect, from them. Medvedev, yes, was in the final of the U.S. Open, wasn't able to take down Djokovic. Now we're seeing him come. I don't think this is the kind of gesture we should be seeing from these players. We've seen the way Djokovic, Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, they've dominated tennis for a very, very long time. So I don't know, even Alcaraz that everyone is actually expecting, we're not seeing that total dominance from him. I don't know what you make of the ATP outside Djokovic, Rafa Nadal, and the man Roger Federer.
Yes, sir. I think we're not really seeing so much. And I believe that is a very, very good. But down the years, not be consistent. It's not be very, very. Yeah, that has a very good high ceiling, but it's not really. It's not that consistent. For me, he needs to do more. I think now that the likes of Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, we know that Novak Djokovic is still there at the moment. I think this is the best time to take these opportunities. They try to be the next big thing in tennis, but we are not really seeing it from Daniel Medvedev. He's hot today, cold tomorrow, and for me, if you want to be consistent, if you want to dominate the tennis scene, you don't have to have those kind of characters. You must always be at your A game every time. You must try to fight for every Grand Slam title. When you're in the tour, you need to find a way to win tournaments and they try to be in shape and all that. So for me, I've not really seen so much from Daniel Medvedev. Maybe he will improve later. Maybe he's waiting for the likes of Rafael Nadal to retire. Roger Federer, we know he's not more there. Maybe Novak Djokovic is waiting for him to retire because they will take on that mantle. So for me, it's not looking very good for him. Except he proves me wrong. He improves his performance. But the way I'm seeing it, it's not really giving me that hope that even when Novak Djokovic retires, he will step up, and it's not giving me that confidence. So he needs to improve, and I hope he does that.
Hope, of course, Medvedev, of course, improve on his game. Now, while the men's single has now concluded in Beijing, the women's event is still ongoing with a number of third-round matches being held. Four-time major champion Iga Swiatek, who was replaced as world #1 by Arina Sabalenka at last month's US Open, reached the quarterfinals with 6-1, 6-1 over fellow Polish player Magdalena Nenter. It was Swiatek's 60th match win of the season, making her the first WTA player since Agnieszka Radwanska in 2013 to reach that tally. American world #4 Jessica Pegula was beaten 6-4, 6-2 by Lavia Jelena Ostapenko, while Kazakhstan world #5 Elena Rybakina fought back to beat a Russian teenage sensation Mira Andreeva 2-6, 6-4, 6-1 in that particular one. But it was such an impressive victory for Iga Swiatek, who is looking forward to, of course, getting back her world #1 spots.
Yes, I think towards the end, not just this year, she has not really been top notch. I think he has had missed results, and it's good. He's ending the year. He's trying to end the year on a very good way. I think tournaments, and for me, it's good. It's good. She's trying to end the year on a high, and try to see whether she can gain back that world #1 before the year ends. But let's see how it goes for her. We know she's a very brutal and a very good tennis player. She's been the new name in the WTA, in the likes of maybe other big guys, Serena Williams, and other players that have kind of dominated the WTA. She's like the name everybody is talking about. So I really need to see what she will do next season, starting from the Australian Open next year. let's see how Iga Swiatek tries to dominate again. She's been there before. She's done it before. So it's not like she's new in terms of dominating. So let's see how it goes for her. I don't know what I would say till the end of this season. Let me just say, okay, towards the end of the season and also from this, let's see how it goes for Iga Swiatek.
Qatar Grand Prix as the Australian continues his recovery from injury. A spokesperson said the team hope Ricciardo, who broke his left hand at the Dutch Grand Prix, will be back for the succeeding race in the US. AlphaTauri want to give Ricciardo a little more time to recover. Ricciardo spent some time in the Red Bull simulator after the last race in Japan, after which it was decided to take the cautious approach to the 34-year-old return. At this point, I will take a short break, and when we'll come back from this break, of course, we'll dive straight into the beautiful world of football. A lot to talk about when it comes to Nigerian football. Please stay with us.
Telling him not to counterpunch. Telling him not to counterpunch.
Welcome back, Steve Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network, and of course, we're bringing the latest revolving around the world of sports at the moment. Let's talk about the CAF Confederation Cup. As now, following the completion of the qualifying round, The African Soccer Ruling Body has announced the date and venue of the draw for the group stage. Rivers United is the only Nigerian club that made it to the group stage of the CAF Confederation Cup following their the all-star of Bender Insurance against Harris Bekene, and the Pride of Rivers secured a 2-0 second leg victory over Etoli Filante of Burkina Faso at the Dokia Messimaka Stadium last weekend. And the Football Affairs Body announced tomorrow, the 6th of October, as the draw dates, and Johannesburg, South Africa, as the venue. The Rivers United crashed out of the same competition in the quarterfinal last season. So another opportunity for Rivers United to see if they can surpass the record they set last time in the CAF Confederation Cup. Just like I mentioned, the draw will come up, tomorrow. Well, okay, talking about Rivers United, and with the way we saw them play against Etoli Filante, especially at the Doke Messimaka Stadium, how far do you see Rivers United? How far do you see them go in the CAF Confederation Cup this time around?
I'm talking about Rivers United. I think they have been one of the most consistent Nigerian teams in the continent in the last few seasons. I think they're always trying to show their presence. And also, I'm not surprised they are the only team that will be in CAF competition this season. For me, it's a very bad omen for our football, but we just have to take it that way. I think the draw, they need to be prepared for anything. The draws will not really be very, very easy. They have to be prepared with teams they will meet doing the draw. The plan is to find a way to get past the group stage if the draw is made, and from there anything can happen. So Rivers United is a very formidable team, very good quality. The issue they had in that match with the Burkina Faso team was that I don't really blame them. The coach even had to say it. The league has not really started. Players were not in that mood, match day mood. Playing friendly matches is different from playing main competition. So he complained about the team not getting good competition before the qualifiers, the CAF Confederation Cup qualifiers. So for me, it's good that the league has started now. They'll be playing games week in, week out. So the players will be very charged up, very active, and all that. So when the draws comes and when the group stages start, I think they'll be able to put up a very good performance. The only thing there is now they are back to the Adokia Messimaka Stadium in Port Harcourt. Last season, and they just have to make use of home advantage this time around in Port Harcourt. So for me, I'm happy they are back, and I'm happy they are in the draw, and that will take place tomorrow. And I wish them luck in the group stage. They just have to make Rivers people proud. Not just Rivers people, they just have to make Nigeria proud, because they are the sole representative of Nigeria.
Rivers United. And let's move on to other matters. World Football Governing Body FIFA has appointed Portuguese official Luis Godinho as referee for the international friendly match between three-time African champions Nigeria and Asian giant Saudi Arabia coming up at the Estadio Municipal de Portimao next week, Friday. Godinho will be assisted by compatriot Bruno Jesus, Thiago Costa, and Bego Nogueira. All at the match. The match, of course, will kick off, by 5 p.m. Portugal time, same time as well in Nigeria. Also appointed Heda Gavaho to head the situation in the video assistant referee room, and to be assisted by Bruno Vera. It is the second ever clash between both countries, and the Super Eagles and the Green Falcons are battled to a scoreless draw in a pre-2010 FIFA World Cup friendly game at the Penn Stadium in Wentons, Austria on the 25th of May 2010, and the Eagles have another friendly encounter against the Mambas of Mozambique at the same venue on Monday, 6th of October 2023, starting at 4 p.m. in that particular one. So we're going to be seeing, an interesting friendly between Saudi Arabia and the Super Eagles of Nigeria coming next week, Friday. Okay, what do you make of this encounter? And I think the Super Eagles trying to put up, some friendly just to keep themselves warm, and as well, improve the FIFA rankings.
Yes, I think it's a very good initiative. I'm trying to bring games during this international windows. You don't just have to allow the windows to go that way. And it's good they are playing, even though I wanted maybe a very stronger team, a very stronger opponent, maybe a team from Europe. Maybe that was maybe what I wanted. But with the level that their football is now, with there's a lot of money and people they are attracting to their league. I think they are very lucrative at the moment to play against, and we saw their performance at the World Cup, even though they didn't really go far. But they defeated the eventual champions, and let's see how it goes. And one of the things, they wear green, we wear green, so I don't know who we are green on that day. So it's good we are playing those friendly matches, and the coach is trying to prepare the teams before the main events. The AFCON comes up in January. Then before then, I think we'll have a qualifier. I think the World Cup qualifier, but that should be November. We should have maybe 1 or 2 legs of those qualifiers before the year runs out. So it's good they prepare very well, and let's see how it's going to go for the Super Eagles. I think, yeah, a very good opponent.
Now, away from that, we hear the Vice President for the Confederation of African Football, CAF, Ahmed Yahya, says they are in talks with the Federation of International Football, FIFA, over the timing of the 2035 tournament, but clarified that the competition will be held in the summer of 2035, which might clash with FIFA Club World Cup. Yahya said that they are currently discussing with FIFA to harmonize the calendar. In 2019, that was the only year the African Cup of Nations was held in the summer. Let's stay away from that. Let's take a look at other matters revolving around the world of football. As we hear, the World Soccer Governing Body has announced the increase in the number of teams that will take part in the 2024 Under-20 World Cup. The competition started in 2002 with Canada as host country, and 16 countries took part. Then the United States beat the host in the final by a lone goal. Since the tournament has remained a 16-team competition, being played every 2 years, the World Football Affairs Body held its Congress yesterday and agreed that the number of participating teams will be increased to 24, and the approved slot allocation will be as follows. For the AFC, there will be 4 slots. For CAF, there will be 4 slots. CONCACAF, of course, will have 4 slots, and CONMEBOL will have 4 slots. OFC will have 2 slots, and UEFA will have 5 slots. And host country, that's Colombia, will have 1 slot. The competition will take place from 31st of August to 22nd of September 2024. Away from that, we hear that the 2030 World Cup will be held across 6 countries in 3 continents. FIFA has confirmed Spain, Portugal, and Morocco have been named as the co-hosts with the opening 3 matches taking place in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay. The opening matches in South America are to mark the World Cup centenary, as it will be 100 years since the inaugural tournament in Montevideo. The decision is set to be ratified at a FIFA Congress next year. Morocco will be hosting the World Cup come 2030. Okay, what do you make of this development when it comes to football in Morocco?
I think they have really done well down the years. I think I heard that they had a 20 years plan, and it really affected not just the men's football, it also affected the women's football. They were able to develop, and they did very well, but they're actually very, very well. And for me, it's good. And I'm not really surprised they had to add Morocco, because they have this close proximity with Spain and also Portugal. So it will be all very easy doing the tournaments. Morocco, they have common boundary with Spain, and also we know that Portugal and Spain they are very close. So it's going to be very, very nice. But how I'm confused is they say they're going to add Argentina, Uruguay, and also Paraguay.
To play
for the first 3 matches. They want to spice up the event. I know traveling and all that, but they know how to do it. Everything will be well planned and all that. So it's good they're trying to bring new innovations and doing this tournament, trying to spice up the tournament. And not just about the host countries. We now know that the slot has been increased, yes, and more teams will participate doing this, starting from 2026. More countries are going to participate for the World Cup. So it's good. It's looking very good. And going forward, I think they are really going very well, bringing the new innovations and making the tournament more lively, not boring. And for me, I like the idea.
Interesting. Let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Okay, we saw an interesting Champions League, night yesterday as Newcastle trashed PSG on the Memorial Champions League homecoming. What do you make of that encounter? 4-3. It ended in favor of Newcastle, humiliating PSG yesterday.
I think it was a fantastic performance from them. I think when the money came, the takeover, I think they were able to do one or two stuffs and bought players, and I think they have been rising. They qualified for the Champions League, and in the tournament they are doing very, very well. Their first game, they drew with AC Milan, and then yesterday they defeated a PSG. We know PSG has not really been consistent this season. A new coach, and they're trying to play now without Neymar. They are trying to play now without Lionel Messi, and it's not really been that easy. But yesterday they were beating very, very well. I think the PSG team, they made mistakes in that game, leading to some of the goals that they conceded. But it was a proper football match. We should give credit to Newcastle. I think they did very, very well. They played very well. They had that energy and they took their chances. So for me, it's good for them. They have started this year's Champions League on a very good note. 4 points from 2 games. I think nobody expected them. Even when they did the draws, nobody expected them to maybe be this good, but they have shown that, yes, we have the quality and we can go far in this tournament.
Newcastle made their first home game in Europe Elite competition for 20 years, a night to remember, of course, for them. And anyhow, men move to the top of what is considered the toughest Champions League group in this season's draw. And Newcastle have 4 points from their opening 2 games, one more than PSG, while Borussia Dortmund and AC Milan picked up their first points in a goalless draw in Germany. Of course, when we saw this group, nobody gave Newcastle a chance. But as it stands now, they're topping the group.
Yes, they're topping the group. And for me, like I said, I watched the draws. And when I saw the opponents, AC Milan, PSG, they're tough opponents. People that have been there, they have been consistent. And but for me, it's not about whether you have to have a game plan every match day. Go there to deliver. When you go there, try to make sure you get the 3 points. If you're not getting the 3 points, at least get a point. That keeps you up on the table.
What do you think has really happened to Paris Saint-Germain, losing 4-1, to Newcastle? Is it as a result of, the changes so far in the team? The coach has been changed. Messi is no longer there. Neymar is no longer there. And they have their man talking about Kylian Mbappe. What do you think went wrong for Paris Saint-Germain in that encounter?
Yeah, I don't know whether anything went wrong, but I think the team have not really been the same since the likes of Messi. And they have not really been consistent down the years. I think they are having issues. Team harmony, they are not. Sometimes we say they are disjointed. They are not playing as a team and all that. But Luis Enrique is trying to make something happen. He's trying to make the team play better again. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But for yesterday, I think they lost the football game. Serious. And for me, let's give credit to Newcastle. And for PSG, they need to find a way to get things right.
All right, let's bring you other results from the Champions League. Celtic lost to Lazio by 2-1. And Leipzig, they were beaten by Manchester City by 3-1. And Porto were beaten by Barcelona by 1-0. Atletico Madrid beat Feyenoord by 3-2. Royal Antwerp, they lost to Shakhtar Donetsk by 3-0. Dortmund played goalless against AC Milan. Resta Belgrade played 2-draw against Young Boys. Manchester City, of course, they have to struggle to win Leipzig by 3-1.
Yes, the game yesterday very tough. They scored first. I don't believe they equalized, and they needed 2 late goals. And from Alvarez,
City is struggling at the moment. Are they struggling to win games?
I can't say they are really struggling. Just that
because prior to this game, they had a back-to-back loss in the Premier League.
What happened was that they have injury issues and also suspension. Rodri was suspended and all that. And when you have injury issues on your team, it tends to disturb the team's flow, the team chemistry, and all that. I think that was what really happened for Manchester City. And the way football is now, you have to be at your best 100% every game to be able to continue that consistent run. I think they have had that small patch off form and all that. So I don't really blame them. They are still humans, even though they have done so much. They did so much last season, that people are really expecting them to be at their best at every game. People are expecting them to beat any team they meet. So it's not always like that. Football is how you prepare. They will still lose games this season, but fans. They will still lose games this season, but for when the Champions League, they are doing very, very well so far.
All right, so let's take a look at the Europa League fixtures tonight. Before we take a look at that, let's listen to what Jurgen Klopp, of course, has to say, because he said that the game between Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur that was played over the weekend, that the game should be replayed due to the disallowed goal of the Liverpool player, talking about Luis Diaz. What do you make of the thoughts of Jurgen Klopp on the disallowed goal for Luis Diaz?
Yes, I feel he has the right to demand for the game to be replayed, because when you see that, it's a very laughable something. It's something that when you see as a losing side, you'll be very angry, because that was a very good goal. The player was onside, and there was a review. That's the shocking part of. There was a review, and they didn't conclude the review. They allowed the game to continue. Very shocking decision. And I know after they lost that game, after they saw the replays and I think the coach should be angry. In fact, the Liverpool team should be angry. And if they say for a replay, I think
IS Aaron's Limassol against Rangers, Baka Topola against Olympiacos, and Marseille against Brighton and Hove Albion. We'll see Sekta Choa against Stormgrass, Rebetis against Sparta Prague, Freiburg against West Ham United, Sporting Lisbon against Atalanta, Hekens against Karabag, and we'll see Maccabi Haifa against Panathinaikos, and Modi against Bayer Leverkusen. We'll see Roma against Servetel, and Slava Prague against Sheriff Tiraspol, Toulouse against Linz Axe, and Villarreal B Nation against Rennes. Those are the matches, of course, we're expecting tonight in the Europa League. It promises to be another exciting night as well in the Europa League. And at this point, we'll call it a wrap up. Although the show book has been an interesting time, of course, taking a look at the latest revolving around the world of sport this morning.
Yes, always a pleasure being here.
Don't forget to be back by 6 p.m. on Sports Extraordinary, where we'll bring you